As I make my way down the winding roads, a sense of ominous creeps over me like a thick blanket. The trees on either side of the road seem to reach out with gnarled branches, as if trying to snatch me from the safety of my car. The road itself is cracked and buckled, and a testament to the unseen forces that have ripped this town apart. Near the outskirts of Centralia, the signs that should welcome visitors instead seem to serve as a dire warning. Danger, no trespassing, and keep out. Toxic fumes are scrolled in bold letters, as if trying to ward off any curious souls who may dare to venture too close. Despite the warnings, I press on, drawn to the eerie silence that hangs over the town like a shroud. The only sounds are the rustling of leaves in the wind and the distant rumble of a train passing by. It's as if the very air itself has been sucked out of Centralia, leaving behind a vacuum of emptiness. As I enter the heart of the town, I can't help but feel a chill run down my spine. Buildings that once stood tall and proud now lie in ruins, their charred and crumbling remains a testament to the fire that has ravaged Centralia for decades. The streets, now deserted, the only signs of life, the occasional wildflower pushing through the cracked pavement. Centralia, Pennsylvania is known for its eerie and haunting atmosphere, made all the more unsettling by its history of a burning coal fire that has been smoldering beneath the town for decades. While many of the town's residents were forced to evacuate due to the dangers posed by the fire and toxic gases, there are a few eerie and unsettling experiences that have been reported by visitors to the area. One of the most commonly reported experiences in Centralia is the strange noises that can be heard coming from the ground. Visitors have reported hearing hissing, bubbling, and even roaring sounds emanating from the earth, particularly around the areas where the underground fire is still burning. Some have described the noises as sounding like a jet engine, while others have likened them to the growls of an angry beast. Another eerie experience reported in Centralia is the strange, ethereal mist that can be seen hovering over the abandoned streets. This mist is thought to be the result of the underground fire, which heats up the ground and causes moisture to evaporate into the air. The mist can be seen drifting through the empty streets, casting an otherworldly glow over the abandoned buildings and adding to the eerie atmosphere of the town. Finally, some visitors to Centralia have reported feeling a sense of unease or foreboding while in the town. This feeling is often attributed to the tragic history of this place and the knowledge that the ground beneath their feet is still burning and unstable. Some have reported feeling as though they are being watched, or that they are not alone in the deserted streets. While these experiences may be unsettling, they add to the mystique and eerie atmosphere of Centralia, making it a fascinating place to visit for those interested in the strange and unusual. Pennsylvania is home to one of the most notorious abandoned places on Earth, the town of Centralia. Nestled in the ridge and valley zone of the Central Appalachian Mountains, Centralia presents a stark contrast to the natural beauty of its surroundings. The signs that welcome visitors to the town are not inviting, but rather ominous and foreboding. Centralia's eerie reputation is well earned, as it served as the inspiration for the chilling horror film Silent Hill. If you've seen this movie, you'll know that it's an unsettling experience that leaves a lasting impression. The same can be said for Centralia, which has a history that is as tragic as it is eerie. Centralia was founded in 1854 by an engineer of a major coal company, as the area's anthracite coal was mined and sold, and Centralia's population grew. Centralia once had over 2,000 residents, 7 churches, 5 hotels, 27 saloons, 2 theaters, and 14 general stores. As coal dependency declined in the 20th century, so did Centralia's population. However, coal's unpopularity did not cause the death of Centralia. Rather, an unyielding mine fire and ineffective attempts at putting the fire out caused the destruction of the previously thriving town. Although there remains disagreement about how the mine fire began, most sources claim the fire started after a coal vein ignited beneath a landfill that was lit on fire in 1962. From 1962 to 1984, various attempts were made at putting the fire out, but no success. David Koch's book, Unseen Danger: Tragedy of People, Government, and the Centralia's Mine Fire, outlines these efforts and the politics behind them all very well. As the Centralia cave fire burned in the 60s and 70s, the town started having problems. Gases from the burning coal began to seep into Centralia homes, making some residents feel constantly drowsy and sending others who had previous respiratory problems to the hospital. Eventually, affected residents were provided with carbon monoxide detectors from the health department. When levels became too high, an alarm sounded and residents would either open their windows to air out their homes or leave their homes until the gases dissipated. In 1981, the Centralia mine fire and the plight of its residents made national headlines after 12-year-old Todd Domboski fell into a sinkhole near his home. Domboski was fortunately pulled from the hole by his older cousin, thereby avoiding death from either the heat or carbon monoxide poisoning. In 1984, the U.S. government provided $42 million in relocation fees to Centralia residents. Most accepted and moved to neighboring towns, and by 2007, only 9 residents remained. One of the most evident places of the fire is on abandoned Route 61 highway, where smoke pours from a large subsidence. This is the part of Centralia that feels the most post-apocalyptic. Centralia is still listed on Google Maps. The nearest town is Mount Carmel, Pennsylvania. In 2016, a time capsule was opened. The capsule was buried in 1966 to celebrate the town's 100th year anniversary. In 1966, the underground fire had just begun, and it's unlikely anyone predicted that Centralia would be a ghost town by 2016. Decades later, the Centralia fire still burns, a constant reminder of the destructive power of nature. The town of Centralia is now a desolate wasteland, a modern-day Pompeii that serves as a warning to all who dare to take the earth for granted. Centralia has been a popular destination for adventurers and was even the inspiration for the horror video game and movie franchise Silent Hill. There's something about the abandoned town that inspires a morbid curiosity. Experts have said there's enough coal there to keep the fire burning for 500 years or even longer. The government spent millions of dollars on numerous unsuccessful attempts to put out the Centralia mine fire. Eventually, the federal officials decided to give up and let the fire burn itself out. The town has been condemned. The state of Pennsylvania now owns all the land and everything on it. Visitors are discouraged. Pennsylvania agencies have erected numerous signs around Centralia, trying to scare away visitors. Walking or driving in this area could result in serious injury or death. Dangerous gases are present and the ground is prone to sudden collapse. The signs represent a very real danger. This day, on the south ridge of town, where the fire burns, there is a pungent smell of sulfur that fills the air. Clouds of steam put a gray filter on the sky, and in the winter, Centralia can be a land of fire and ice. While the air can be bitterly cold, the ground can be hotter than a sauna. But even as the last remaining residents hold on, Centralia's eerie reputation continues to grow. Visitors to the town report feeling a sense of unease and a chill in the air, as if they're being watched by unseen forces. Some claim to have seen apparitions or heard unexplained noises in the abandoned buildings. It's a surreal and eerie experience to walk through the deserted town, knowing that beneath your feet, a fire still rages on. One of the most popular legends is that of the 7 gates to hell. According to the story, there are 7 underground tunnels beneath the town that lead to the gates of hell. It is said that if you pass through all 7 gates, you will reach the underworld. While there is no evidence to support this legend, it's become a popular attraction for thrill seekers and ghost hunters. Centralia, a story of a community that was slowly poisoned by the very industry that sustained it, until it was no longer safe or viable for human habitation. In Centralia, The legacy of the coal industry is a reminder of the devastating impact that our exploitation of natural resources can have. The town remains a fascinating and eerie reminder of the power and unpredictability of nature. Centralia continues to draw in the curious to a world haunted by its ghostly past and the fire that continually burns beneath it. Thank you all for watching. Have you ever been to Centralia? Or will you ever go to Centralia? Definitely someplace I would love to go. But thank you guys for watching, and we'll be back for more soon. Tales told in the dark.